Subvention!
When?
Now!
The call is growing louder for the Britney administration to make good on a promise to the University of Belize. At the heart of it, a $10 million subvention that the UB Faculty and Staff Union says is long overdue. When the university was first established back in 2000, it received the full $10 million from the government, but that figure was slashed to $8.5 million under the previous UDP administration, a move the now ruling People's United Party strongly criticized at the time. Fast forward to today, and despite pledges to restore and even increase the funding, the union says the government still hasn't delivered.
Last year we called out the government on their promise, and they put out through a press release saying that it was due to COVID, they could not live up to that. But they promised that in this budget, in the budget for this fiscal year, they would increase it. And the budget was read, and there is no promise for increase.
Staff at the University of Belize say the morale is at an all-time low as the institution grapples with dwindling resources and struggles to offer competitive salaries to its educators. The UB Faculty and Staff Union is calling on the government to restore the financial support to at least $10 million, arguing that the boost is essential to keep the university functioning effectively. However, not everyone agrees. Former Minister of Education Francis Fonseca says the government is already providing significant funding and suggests that the university needs to manage its current budget more efficiently.
We have obviously every right to protest the UB union. What I can say for the record is that this government, this Ministry of Education, has provided unprecedented support to UB. In addition to the subvention that they get, we provide over $5 million a year in assistance to the university, which is used to pay salaries, which is used to provide support to students. So unprecedented support. More money is going to UB under this government than ever before.
It's a growing divide at the University of Belize. The government says it's doing its part, but the staff say they're being left behind. Former Education Minister Francis Fonseca insists that extra funding is helping to pay teachers. But there's a catch. The university staff say they haven't seen a real raise in nearly a decade. Now, President of the Christian Workers Union, Leonora Flowers, is stepping in, throwing her support behind the university's faculty and staff.
For 10 years, imagine living on the same salary for 10 years. You can't pay your bills properly. You're barely surviving. You're barely making ends meet. And you've been promised this increase and it has not come about. As I said, Tono Gadamos, but are we really? Who's winning? The people of the UB aren't winning. The citizens of Belize aren't winning.
We shall not be moved just like a tree that's planted by the water.
The union's peaceful demonstration occurred just outside the Sir Edna Kane building in Belmopan, where government officials were arriving for a scheduled cabinet meeting. It turns out the timing was no accident. The University of Belize staff made sure their voices were heard, loud and clear. The message was a protest and a strategic move, and it worked. Minister of Transport Dr. Louis Zabané has confirmed that the issue will be brought to the cabinet table.
Well, we'll have to discuss it at cabinet, right? That's the idea for everybody to be here, to let cabinet hear the voice of the people, and especially of our hard-working faculty at UB. So we'll see how it goes.
So is that on the table for today?
I believe so. I think that was mentioned that we would be discussing it, but we're here to talk about all the important issues that the country faces, and of course we hear our wonderful faculty from UB.
According to the UB FSU president, Julian Passos, the increased funds would not only benefit the teachers' pay, but also the university's infrastructure and classroom resources.
I believe that the faculty and staff will push for it until they get it. So in terms of classes, we hope that, and we call on our students to be understanding, the increase in subvention is for all of us, because if we can improve the university, we can improve it for our students, for our faculty and our staff. And in terms of moving the class, it might be a little sacrifice that we all have to do.
The fight isn't over yet, not by a long shot. While there's still no guarantee that the University of Belize will get the increased government subvention it's asking for, the union isn't backing down. Union leader Julian Passos says if the government doesn't follow through on its promise, they're ready to take the next step, and that means turning up the pressure on the university's administration and board of trustees. Britney Gordon for News 5.